The BOE's more dovish MPC member, Swati Dhingra, has warned against further interest rate rises, saying it could damage a weak UK economy. Our UK correspondent Lizzy Burden joins us now and has been speaking to Swati Dhingra. What did she have to say on this panel? Arguably one of the most interesting members of the MPC at this point.
Indeed, Tom, and we've got you covered here on Bloomberg. We've got the Hawks and the Doves. Swati Dhingra came out with her first speech since joining the Monetary Policy Committee yesterday. As you know, she's already voted to hold rates twice. She suggested that she would do the same again at the meeting coming up this month. And the reason is, she says that over-tightening risks denting the economy. The difference between her and Catherine Mann is she says the Hawks are too focused on domestically driven inflation. Take a listen to this.
Wage inflation is really a measure of the distribution of the losses from trade. It is not a measure of average losses from trade. And as a Monetary Policy Committee member, it is not our job to be able to take any kind of judgment on how the losses should be divided across the population.
So look, Swati Dhingra is the trade expert of the committee. What she says is that most of our inflation is actually imported, and she also emphasises the lag in monetary transmission. So she says the previous jumbo hikes have still yet to fully take hold, and that chimes with some of even the Hawks, formerly of the committee, who we've been speaking to. So Michael Saunders told us on Bloomberg Radio that even he would ease the pace of hikes to 25 basis points, and Andy Haldane, the former chief economist, says that he would move cautiously from here.
So the dividing lines are quite clear, though, between the Hawks and the Doves. How does that set us up for the meeting? It's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you've had the ECB and the Fed making some hawkish noises. You saw at one point yesterday traders pricing for a peak of 5% in the key rate for the Bank of England. I put this to Swati Dhingra because it's interesting, isn't it, that the UK sits in the middle of the Venn diagram between the US's tight labour market and Europe's energy crisis. You would think, perhaps, that the UK should double down and be even more hawkish. Well, her argument is that there are differences even between France and Germany. The US is more consumer-driven, and actually she's not as worried about a further drop in the pound as Catherine Mann told us she was. Take a listen.
So how worried as a first order should I be about the exchange rate? I think not as much as I should be about some of the other factors.
And the reason for Dhingra is because when she looks at the imports, most of them are not priced in dollars. So this goes some way to explaining how you can have such a split on the committee, members looking at the same data but reaching different conclusions. And what it means for the next meeting is it's going to come down to the men, because they're sandwiched between the external female members at the different ends of the spectrum.